Welcome back to MMA Unhinged, and joining us today is number 4 ranked light heavyweight contender of Bellator MMA, Karl Moore. Karl, how are you, and how are you feeling as we're less than a month out from your upcoming title fight?
I feel good, mate. I know every fighter says it, but it's the best I've ever felt. I mean, I'm in peak condition physically, psychologically, mentally. I just feel good. It's under three. It was 3 weeks on Friday. I wish I was fighting this week. That's how good I feel, mate. That's already.
Yeah, yeah, and you have a big fight with Corey Anderson. So, I mean, you're fighting. You have a 4-fight win streak, and you've worked your way up to the top here. Did you know that a title fight was on the way? Did Bellator indicate that you were going to be next in line?
No, I had no idea, to be honest, Luke. It was I had an idea that I was on the cusp after my win against Alex Polizzi. I knew I was very close, but I expected to have maybe one more good win, and then I expected after that win to fight for the belt. But it happened sooner rather than later. I'm not complaining. I'm not going to turn down a title fight. So yeah, I had an idea we were close, but I didn't think it was this close. But like I said, I'm happy with it.
Excellent. And before we go any further, I just want to take the time to thank you for taking the time out of your day. Obviously, you're less than a month out, so I appreciate you taking the time to come on here.
No, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity, bro. Thank you very much.
No problem, Karl. Talking about fight camp, obviously you're fighting out of SPG Ireland. How has that been? How's fight camp been so far?
Fight camp, bro. There's ups, there's downs, there's good days, there's bad days. I mean, fight camp. But SBG, it's my home. It's been my home for the past almost 5, 6 years, isn't it? And yeah, like I said, this fight camp's been picture perfect. I know every fighter says that, but I mean, it just feels like this fight camp and everything that's happened around this, the stars just aligned perfectly for this fight. And yeah, bro, just I don't want to scum myself, so touch wood. Nothing bad happens in the next 2 weeks, but everything's gone picture perfect almost.
Excellent. And you have prepared in the past for a title fight under Cage Warriors. So this is nothing new for you. And also, every opponent is different. But is there anything that you've done different in the preparation for this fight versus maybe other fights that you've had?
Slightly, not too much. I mean, me personally, look, I don't really focus too much on what he does. I focus on what I bring to the table, and I fight, and they have to adjust to me. But I have a couple of great training partners around me that, like for example, Will Fleury, my training partner, he will watch so much footage, and he will come in and say, right, if he does this, you do this. I'm a coach, Sean Cabinet. They're giving me wee snippets throughout training camp and things to do in sessions that just make it harder for Cory and easier for me. But nothing changes, not too much. Look, small changes, but 90% of the stuff's the exact same. It's a 5 round fight instead of 3 rounds. That's the only difference. And like you touched on, I've done 5 rounds in Cage Wars before, so this isn't new territory to me. I've done it before, so I have a rough idea what to expect. But like you said, every fighter's different too. So
And this is my first time talking with you, Karl. So when it comes to your conditioning, how do you prepare for a 5-round fight? Do you just do lots of is it the sparring, or is it the cardio? Is it the running? What do you do to prepare for those 5 rounds?
first of all, mate, instead of doing 3 rounds, you do 5 rounds of sparring. And we do with like a shark tank, like a fresh man every minute, or like a minute on pause, a minute bar position, a minute pause, a minute getting in a bar position, stuff like that. But my last couple of camps, look, I was very focused on like strength and conditioning and running and sprints, and like my numbers in the weight room were going up, my numbers on the treadmill were going up on the track, but I still got tired and face. So I was like, so this time I focus more on sport specific training, more like sparring, testing, pads, bags. I mean, because I was as fit as I've ever been, but I'm still getting tired of fights. Obviously, you're going to get tired. It's a fight, but this fight camp has been more sport specific. Less time in the weights room and on the track, and more time just doing what we do in the fight. If that makes sense.
hmm And then speaking, looking at your camp, your teammate Johnny Walker. Obviously, he had a chance to fight him years ago. Obviously, there's lots of tape on the guy, but did he give you any words of advice? Did he shoot anything to you? What to expect? Did he give you
Not
anything?
really. they fought. It was a long time ago when they fought. Johnny was a different fighter, and I assume Cory was a different fighter too. But no, nothing. Just I mean, not really. Like no, because I mean, like it was so long ago, and like they're both very different from then too. So not really, but no. No.
And also, I mean, talking about your camp, I mean, I would like to say half that card is coming from SBG Ireland. Talk about like the vibe around the camp. What's how easy is it for you to be able to do a fight camp knowing that you got several other guys in the gym preparing for the same card?
That's one of the beauties of SPG. That's one of the things I really enjoy about SPG. Like no matter when you're fighting, there's always someone else fighting too. If they're not on the same card, they're fighting a week before or a week after, and it just creates like a different kind of atmosphere in the gym because everybody's buzzing. There's guys preparing for fights a week before you, a week after. Or it's even better when there's guys fighting the same day as you because you're all trained together, you cut weight together, you fight together. It's a different kind of buzz, mate, and I really enjoy it. I mean, this will be my fourth fight in Bellator, and every single fight I've had guys fighting on the same card as me, and it's like it's a really good thing, bro.
Well, and speaking about some of the guys on the card, they've been, SPG has always been a highly regarded gym, but it just seems like a lot of the guys at that gym lately have just been buzzing. So, giving that momentum that I think the gym's been having lately, do you feel like that also gives extra motivation and extra kick to your camp?
Yeah, oh, of course. I mean, like some of the other guys on the card, like Kieran Clark, he's never been in a boring fight in his life. And every one of Kieran Clark's fights are unbelievable. Nate Kelly, he's on a 9-fight win streak. He's like the poster boy for Irish MMA for PFL. They've given him a chance to fight in Bellator again. So I mean, yeah, it's like on the mat every day. There's someone else to be inspired by and someone else to look up to. And you're having a tough day that you don't want to train them tired. And you see the end guys busting their ass. So it's like, no, I got to be there too. So yeah, but we're all buzzing off each other and we all inspire each other in different ways. If that makes sense.
And speaking about this fight's going to be back in Ireland, it's your first time being back home since February. So for people that don't understand the feeling being able to fight in front of your home crowd and to be able to fight in front of Irish fans, given the fact that even UK fans, describe to those people what that feeling is like.
You can't describe it. Look, it's out of this world, mate. I swear to God. And just to correct what you said there, I fought in Dublin in February, and I'm based in Belfast. Belfast, my home city, and this fight's in Belfast. I've always fought in Dublin and Bellator, but this card's actually in my hometown of Belfast. I get great support in Dublin. I get such a big following, and people from Belfast travel to Dublin. But to have this fight 20 minutes from my house in Belfast is just, I can't wait. It's like I had my third amateur fight in a place called the King's Hall in Belfast, and after I won that fight, I jumped on a cage and celebrated. And from that moment, I imagined like it was a dream. I thought it would never happen, but it's here. Like I imagine fighting for a world title on one of the biggest shows in the world, winning a world title in front of people in Belfast, and that's a dream. You think that's probably never going to happen. But yet, in under 3 weeks, I get the opportunity to do it, mate, and that's just unbelievable in front of people from Belfast. So yeah, mate, it's just I can't wait. I really, really can't wait because people from Belfast, the atmosphere they bring to anything, they go to music concerts, hockey games, football games, they bring a serious atmosphere. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like when they have one of their own fighting for a world title. It'll be unreal. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think every fan's looking forward to it, especially when you know how that crowd's going to be. Looking at your opponent, he's been in the UFC and he's been in Bellator for such a long time. Have you had a chance to actually watch him in real time, or just have you ever been a fan? Have you ever watched him, and what do you think about him as a fighter?
The fighter, I have nothing but respect for Cory. He's a great fighter, like you said. He was in, I think, before he signed with Bellator, he was ranked in the top 8 or 9 in the UFC, maybe higher, I'm not sure. And yeah, we fought on the same card 9 months ago in Chicago. I watched him fight Phil Davis. He's a great fighter, fantastic fighter. But I think just on the night, this is my night. This is going to be my night. This is everything is just, it just feels like it's mine. I know it sounds crazy, but the way things have been going, the way things have aligned for this fight, this camp, it just feels like this is my time. And I think if you put any man in front of me, not just Cory, on the night, I will beat them. But like you said, I have nothing but respect for him. He's a fantastic martial artist. But I just think this is my time.
And you're riding a streak yourself. He's only lost 2 fights out of 11 out of his last 11. Given that close fight that he had a few years back, looking at this fight, does that kind of give you the mentality that you're going to need to have and what you're going to be facing in this fight?
Sorry, what was the question? Sorry.
Is that going to be like the mentality you expect to see from him and what he's going to bring into this fight?
Yeah, I think with Cory, I mean no disrespect when I say this, but all of Cory's fights, he's pretty much the same kind of guy. He comes forward, he's forward pressure, he's got great endurance, great cardio. He looks to wrestle. He can strike too. He's a light heavyweight, so he's got power in his hands. He can punch, but I think he does favour his wrestling. And I expect the best version of Cory. I expect the best, both physically and mentally. That's what I want. I want the best version of Cory because it'll bring out the best in me. It'll be a great night for fans, a great fight. So yeah, I expect the strong, determined Cory. Yeah.
And I mean, you've just described him in one sentence. So speaking on that, is your job? Are you just here to just focus on what you can do and not so much the skills that he possesses?
Yeah, more or less. But I mean, I'm aware of what he possesses, but I mean, the skills Cory has is something that I've trained to fight against from the beginning of my career, especially in SBG. We've trained for these types of fighters. I mean, my last fight with Alex Felice, he was a great wrestler too. So it's pretty much the same blueprint, only maybe a bit more things to work and tweak. And I think with Cory, if Cory's really good, 3 or 4 really good things, and I think if I can shut them down, it'll be a difficult night for Cory. It's just shutting them numerous things down, and when I do, I think the fight will eventually start to sway in my favor. But you never know what can happen on the night. Do you know what I mean? I could talk all this now, and they could all go to shit. You never know.
Given what you can bring to this matchup, how do you kind of see this fight breaking down, and how do you see yourself finishing this fight?
I don't like to make predictions, but all I can say is I'm ready for a 5-second fight, a 5-minute fight, or a 5-round fight. Either way, obviously I want a quick finish, but I'm ready. I think, brother. I see myself winning by TKO, KO, submission, or unanimous decision. That's it, bro. I just see myself getting my hand raised at the end.
And I know that you're focused on task on hand, but I can only imagine that you've had visions of having that belt wrapped on you and just getting that win. So, is there any kind of visions that you've had in the past few weeks as the fight gets closer and closer? Is there things that you can visualize and you can kind of see, and what you plan to do when you do get that belt?
The first thing I want to do is just go home, sit with my family, and just maybe have a whiskey or something. I don't drink that much at all, but just for me, the only thing I want to do is go and spend time with my partner, maybe go on a holiday, relax, and then after 1 week, get straight back to work and defend the belt or whatever's after. But no, mate, it's just you're looking. Everything now is focused on the fight, and it's nice to think of what we'll do after. But everything right now is just tunnel vision to March 22nd. That's it.
Excellent. And obviously, PFL bought a Bellator. Given that they've done the champion versus champion, they've done a lot of great things so far. What do you think about the whole the season / tournament setup that they have, and do you kind of like that?
Yeah, I think it's different. I mean, you've nobody MMA's done that before. What I like about it is you're guaranteed a fight every 8 or 68 weeks, because if you're in that tournament, you're fighting like a football league. So yeah, I think it's different for a start. It's refreshing, and it's going to bring some new eyes, some like new fans towards MMA, because it's something that I think can cater to the more not hardcore MMA fans, but people that don't know too much about MMA. It can get them interested, and you've seen the card that PFL and Bellator put on. I mean, some of the fights were fantastic. Even my favorite was Johnny Eblin and Impa Kasagane, 2 great guys. That was an unbelievable fight. So it just shows you what I like about what they're doing now is they're making the best fight the best. Because in the past, I don't think Bellator and PFL, I don't think it was the best versus the best. Some guys were getting easier matches than others. Where I think now it's no, you're fighting this guy, you're the best of this, you're the best of this. I think they're putting really well matched fights, and I'm excited to see what happens, because for someone like me who's fighting for the belt, if I win the belt, I can stay with Bellator or maybe jump into PFL and go for their season. It's just great to have some options. Look, you know what I mean? I really like that thought. So yeah,
Is that something that they've talked to you about?
when they say they give us an option to stay with Bellator and compete in Bellator or switch over to PFL. But from the time that I stayed with Bellator, my goal was to fight for the belt. So when they give me that option, I was like, no, I'm staying. I know exactly where I need to be. I want to fight for the belt. I want to win the belt. Then I'll start maybe making some decisions about doing this and doing that. But everything right now is just get the belt and then we'll take it from there.
And with the PFL season, with the scoring system that they have, depending on whether you finish the fight in the first round or you finish or you get a decision or you lose, you always have those point system. Do you feel like that helps the fighters just get more hungry for that finish?
Yeah, it puts a bit more pressure on you, I think, too. Like, because, you know, if you get first round finishes, you get more points. What I like about it is, like, if you have a fight and I have a fight and it's the last fight of the season of the league, and you're a point ahead of me. But if I finish this guy in the first round, I can jump you. So there's wee incentives like that. It makes it a bit. It's like football. It makes it a bit more exciting. You may call football, I call soccer. Do you know what I mean? It makes it a bit more exciting. But yeah, I like the thoughts of that because I mean, for someone like me, it gives you a bit more of an incentive to try and knock somebody out, to try and submit somebody in the first round. Oh yeah,
and we kind of talked a little bit after the fight if you should win the belt, the visions that you have. But after the fight, do you have any plans for a cheat meal or anything like that? You gotta what are you doing to enjoy the festivities after the fight?
everything, mate. There's no cheat meal. It's going to be a cheat week. It's just going to be everything. There's just, I mean, I diet quite strictly through fight camp, but I have obviously wouldn't kill myself too much. You can allow myself some treats, but yeah, after the fight, bro, it's a full week of just eating whatever I want because I don't drink that much alcohol. I don't drink too much, so my thing would be food. I would eat a lot of food. Just everything, bro. There's nothing specific, just everything. Just give me it all.
And plans for the rest of the year. Obviously, you know, if you become the champ or you don't, do you have any plans outside of fighting? And if you do become the champ, do you have plans for being the champion down the road besides the PFL?
To be honest, Luke, whether or not I win the belt, my plans are the same. There's a Dublin card, I think, with Bellator in June. Whether I'm champion or not, I want to be on that card. If I'm the champion, I want to defend my belt on that card. If I'm not the champion, I want to fight on that card. So I want to be active with or without the belt. And if I'm a champion, I want to be an active champion. So that the belt changes nothing for me. It's nice. It's a great thing to have, but I want to stay active. That's my goal, mate. At 3 fights last year, well, within the space of a year, and I want 4 to 5 this year.
Excellent. Karl, I just want to say it's a pleasure having you on here. I know you're less than a month out from your fight, so I don't want to take much more of your time. So again, it's been a pleasure have MMA Unhinged. It's been a pleasure having you on here and to speak with us about your upcoming title fight. And just good luck on March 22nd, and we'll talk again soon.
I appreciate the time, brother. Thank you very much, Luke. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you, brother.
No problem, Karl.